Mariners lose 10-4. This was ugly, folks. Fall to 28-26. They lose the first of the 3-game series against the New York Yankees. There's a lot of runs scored, but we'll quickly go over them. Jake Bauers, former Mariner legend, doubles home Harrison Bader to make it 1-0. Mariners get one back on a Teoscar Hernandez fielder's choice. Aaron Judge homers to left to make it 3-1 with a runner on. Jake Bauers homers to right to make it 4-1. Julio Rodriguez scorches a homer to make it 4-2. Fifth inning, the wheels fall off. Willie Calhoun doubles to score Aaron Judge and Gleyber Torres. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa doubles to score Greg Allen and Willie, not Cole, Calhoun to make it 8-2. Mariners do get two back with another RBI single from Julio Rodriguez that scores a couple of runs to make it 8-4. Aaron Judge homers again to make it 9-4, and they added an extra run in the ninth off. I think it was who cares? 10-4. 10-4, good buddy. 10-4, not so good buddy. I guess 10-4, not so good buddy. So let's talk about some positives, and I think there are some. Here's one positive. You got to watch an elite baseball player and Aaron Judge play baseball. I mean, if you're going to lose and you're going to get your butt kicked, swear 9.5. If you're going to have yourself lose like this, why not have Aaron Judge go off? 3 for 4, 2 homers, just misses a third. Draws a walk, also robs Teoscar Hernandez of a homer. He's a special baseball player. And it's just amazing how many people gave up on this guy because of his struggles early on. Man, oh man, were those people foolish. He's one of the most talented baseball players I've ever seen. Crazy good. Was worth every dang penny. Man, he just destroyed tonight. So, there's one positive. One of your positives is that you got to watch Aaron Judge do Aaron Judge things. If you're going to lose, and you're going to lose here and there, why not have Aaron Judge put on a spectacular show? Saw a pretty darn good show from Julio Rodriguez as well. Another couple of hits, 3 RBIs. Now in 247, 311, 451, that's much more like it. It's not good enough. We're not aiming for that, but just think about how poor those numbers were not that long ago. He's just a spectacular baseball player. Jared Kelenic gets a couple of hits. We'll talk about Kelenic and Julio in a little bit. Teoscar Hernandez should have hit a home run, and he did drive in a run. On the pitching side, I thought Juan Tan and Chris Flexen both were solid. Did the job as low leverage gets for most of that. But getting 2 1/3 innings from Juan Tan, that's pretty nice. I do wonder if maybe he gets the old heave-ho pretty soon because he's probably not available for a couple of days. But, that's great. That's great. Okay, the end of the positives. Unfortunately, we got to talk about Bryce Miller. So I forgot to talk about him the last time he pitched until 8.5 minutes into the video. He was so good. I'm not going to forget about Bryce Miller this time. He stunk. He's bad. Secondary stuff was really bad tonight. He threw a lot of strikes, but he threw a lot of crappy strikes. Aaron Judge is going to get you. And Jake Bauers has been playing really well as of late. But Jake Bauers shouldn't be, yeah. And even with saying Jake Bauers is playing well, he's at 220, 322, 460. Come on. And he needed that to do that. Like, he just caught way too much of the plate tonight. And the secondary stuff isn't good enough right now for him to be able to make up for crappy command. Swear 10. I try to avoid all of that. But anyway. It was not good, Bryce Miller. That was a reminder that you are a rookie pitcher. facing a guy that I think is a Hall of Fame player. I think he's a no doubt Hall of Fame player. There are many writers. I've got one buddy in particular who I won't mention the name of, but who is absolutely sure that Aaron Judge isn't a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. You cannot tell the story of baseball without Aaron Judge, assuming there are no stuff that happens from here on in. There's no gambling stuff. There's no, you know what, stuff. Steroids wouldn't even keep me. If I found out that Aaron Judge was just shooting up every day, and he's not, but if I found that out, I'd still make him a Hall of Famer. But I'm a little different on that stuff than everybody else. But anyway, he's not doing any of that stuff, and he is not. Aaron Judge should be in the Hall of Fame. Aaron Judge, if he retired tomorrow, would be in the Hall of Fame for me. You cannot tell the baseball story without Aaron Judge. And he hasn't done anything negative to persuade me otherwise. Anyway, that stuff happens. But this lineup is not that good outside of that, and he just wasn't good. It's a poor effort. Have very little concern in the long term. Want to see how he bounces back. I think it's going to be big for him to bounce back with a nice start. The very top of the lineup wasn't great today. The bottom of the lineup wasn't great today. Taylor Trammell, nice to see a couple of walks. 143 average isn't so hot, but it is what it is. Cal Raleigh really struggled. Eugenio Suarez does draw a walk, but no, not really. Kelnick, a couple of hits. Julio, we talked about. I will say this. 9-4 game. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Julio takes a fastball, and Kelnick strikes out swinging. They had good games, but you can point out that was less than ideal. Your best players in a situation where you could have gotten your team back in the game. They didn't get the job done in that situation. Now, look, the Mariners aren't even in the game without Julio Rodriguez having 3 RBI. And Kelnick, he gets on a couple times. He steals a base. He scores a run. It's a solid game. More than solid. Did that every game, he'd be as good as any player in baseball ever. 500 on base percentage. Pretty darn good. But this is a daily show. And in that situation, they failed. Bummer. But I'm going to point it out. I'm not hot take McGee with this stuff, but, they had a chance to get the team back in the game, and they failed. That sucks. It's really nice that they were able to win Sunday because, I'm not saying this loss is meaningless by any, every game's big. Every game is big. I really, truly believe that. Just because the result doesn't define you doesn't mean that every win and loss matters. It does, especially with how things are going right now. Some really good baseball teams out there. Some really horrible baseball teams. But there's some good baseball teams, especially in the American League East. They just played one. They got killed. Tomorrow we have Logan Gilbert against former Mariner legend Nestor Cortez. Not easy. Cortez has been pretty bad this year, but he's kind of alternated good start with bad start. Wouldn't be shocked if he held this lineup in check. So Gilbert does need to be good. That was, I don't want to call it a reality check for Miller. It's more of you see what can go wrong. You see what can go wrong with a rookie pitcher who does not have great secondary stuff. Some of those curveballs were just awful. Yeah. He's been so good in his other starts. I'm willing to give him beyond the benefit of the doubt, but this was ugly. This was ugly. Aaron Judge is just really good. Aaron Judge and Julio Rodriguez. Everybody who was at that game today, congratulations. You got to watch unbelievable talent. All due respect to Jared Kelenic and a bunch of other guys. Just kind of a notch above. Just kind of a notch above. It happens. Please follow me on Twitter. Please hit like and please hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I've had a blast doing these, and if you like it, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody. All the views count. Bummer, but we'll say this: Aaron Judge is really good.